Good morning. It's still morning, right? Yeah, I think it is. It's 10:15 here on the good old East Coast of the US of A. I am in Baltimore, Maryland this morning. My name is Sharon Schultz, and I'm known in the world of virtual tours as the Bay Lady because I live in the Chesapeake Bay region of Maryland and I love the Bay. I'm a beach girl, so there are a lot of really interesting things to see and do here. So, my goal is to bring as many of them out there to the world as I can and enjoy doing it. These are my favorite places. So what is there not to love, right? Okay. So, again, I'm the Bay Lady. You can find more information about me on my Facebook page, and also I have a YouTube channel. Just look for the Bay Lady, Sharon Schultz, and you will definitely find me there. Um, all of my tours, my virtual tours, are free. I just love doing it. But, there's a gas crisis here. So, any support, if you enjoy my videos, you can support me at buymeacoffee.com. And every little bit helps, gas to get here and things of that nature. So, anyway, as you can see from the sign behind me, I am at Fort McHenry National Park. Fort McHenry is run by the U.S. government. It was built in the late 1700s, and its biggest claim to fame was the War of 1812. In 1814, September, the British had just burned Washington, D.C. British and the French were kind of squabbling, I believe. They had a war going on, and the U.S. kind of got caught in the middle in that one. And anyway, they had burned, a battle close to Washington in a town called Bladensburg. So the Battle of Bladensburg was very costly for the colonials. And after that, the British were empowered, so they burned Washington. Next on their list was Baltimore. Baltimore was ready. The people knew they were coming. And so between the military and the guns of Fort McHenry, and also backup forts, Fort Covington, Fort Lookout, one more, Fort Babcock, between all of them and the citizens of Baltimore formed their own little emergency militia and set up trenches and reinforcements and stuff and thwarted the British plan to sneak into the backside of Baltimore and take them by surprise while the front end was busy battling the British Navy. So, as I said, Baltimore was ready, and so the Battle of Baltimore became a historic thing where people in military came together and saved the city and foiled the foes. So the other reason why I'm here in Fort McHenry actually for two reasons. And as a matter of fact, let me start here. I'm going to go ahead and turn this camera around because you should be seeing all these gorgeous things around me here. All right, camera. Facing front, the two facing back. All right. All right. Now you're looking at Fort McHenry, actually, the actual fort up there on the hill. But as I started to say, I'm here for two reasons. One of them is the historic end, that is Fort McHenry. And this is the 250th anniversary of the United States. And so there are a lot of historic things going on, and people are visiting the historic places to learn more about the history of the country. But the other reason I'm here is right here, cherry blossoms. Everybody knows about the cherry blossoms in Washington, D.C., right? The ones that the Japanese gave us decades and decades ago. Well, these are our cherry blossoms, Baltimore's best, right? These are Baltimore's cherry blossoms. How'd you like that, huh? Pretty cool. Well, we're going to get a little bit closer here. Yeah, we have a couple of groves of cherry blossoms here in Baltimore. Um, they are in full bloom. I heard they were saying yesterday they were in full bloom, so that only makes it better for today, right? Hey, Olivia Lover Girl, hello. How are you? Do you like cherry blossoms? We're right here on the water, too, by the way. This dock that you're looking at, that's where the water taxis come in and take you to various places along the harbor. The inner harbor, where Baltimore's downtown area is off to the left. Um, Straight across there are a couple of ships. You've got some Navy ships there and a cargo ship. Baltimore is a very, very big and busy seaport. As far as the country goes, our number one import is cars, new cars. We are the biggest importer of new cars here in Baltimore. And farm equipment is our second thing. We do a lot of farm equipment. Okay. So let's get a good look at the cherry blossoms, shall we? We get closer. Oh, look at them. They're so beautiful. And you know what? They smell wonderful. Oh my goodness. They smell so good. A couple years ago, I decided I wanted to do a virtual tour of the cherry blossoms in Washington that are at the tidal basin, which is where the Lincoln Memorial is and such. Jefferson Memorial is along that way. Look at these stunning pictures, right? Of the water and the cherry blossoms. Look at all the people. There's people everywhere. This is a holiday weekend. It's Good Friday. So there are a few people here, which is kind of cool. It is a busy place. Hey, Sarah. How are you, girl? Hey, I saw a bunch of pictures that you posted on Facebook from one of the tours. They were excellent, my dear. Excellent day. How's things in merry old England? Oh, and you know what? I shouldn't even ask things because things here in merry old US of A suck. So I didn't really mean to say that. But anyway, um, I hope all is well with you. Here is an artist ahead of me here. Lady, she's painting the cherry blossoms. I can see that's what she's painting. Oh my goodness. How very cool. Hmm. You can hear the ships running over there. We're just going to look at these cherry blossoms and then we are going to go up to the fort so you can see that as well. Um, right directly across there are some big I don't know what they are, those tall cylinders. It's some type of construction kind of thing. But right next to that, before that was there, that is where the immigrants used to come into Baltimore. It's called Locust Point. Baltimore actually had the largest amount of immigrants after New York, after Ellis Island and Castle, what was it, Castle Harbor, Castle Station, something like that. But anyway, we had the second biggest influx of immigrants from Europe. As a matter of fact, during that period, we took in over 1 million immigrants, and it shows today. You know, we still have um, uh, our Asian communities. There's Spanish Town. Um, we've got let's see, Spanish Town. We've got Little Italy, of course. There's a German community, and as I said, these immigrants that came to Baltimore helped develop it. Baltimore is a very much a immigrant, diverse, driven city. Most definitely. So, and what it's cold today too, by the way. I thought it would get warmer, but I'm not getting warmer. It's a bit chilly. Look at these. These are so beautiful. Look, you're up in the trees and the blossoms. Oh, and they smell so good. They really do. Gosh, I wish I could bottle the scent. It smells wonderful. Oh, my goodness. This is a nice grove of cherry blossoms, too. You know what? There are a few artists up here. Several people with easels. I have to go check them out. Oh, there's another lady over there. Two more. So, wow. Look at all these artists. Isn't that interesting? Hmm.
What if we like say?
Let me stop here and make sure this camera is where I need it to be. I hope y'all are getting a good picture, right? All right, so look, got an artist over here. We're going to sneak behind her and see. Nice. This guy too, yep. And he's doing a little picture. All the big cargo ships. Look at that ship over there. There's a tiny lighthouse over there. You can't see it, but it's the only thing that's left of what? Oh, he's doing the ships. It's the only thing that's left of what used to be the port, Locust Point immigration port. Looking up this way, there's the fort. We're working our way up there. I guess we're kind of leaving the cherry blossoms and heading for the fort. You can see down there is Baltimore getting ready to get into the harbor. Cherry blossoms smell so good. It's kind of foggy today because you can't see the top of all the buildings, and you can't see very clearly down into Baltimore either. Baltimore is a beautiful city, and these cherry blossoms, I mean, this is a nice grove of them, but they're scattered all over the city, along the highways, the streets, in the neighborhoods and the shopping centers. Oh, look at this cute little dog. Is that a mini collie? Oh, oh, there's a pretty dog behind me, too. I thought about bringing my dog. However, I didn't know if I could do the dog and the camera both. Although my dog's a little one. She's a little Pomeranian. Little cutie that I rescued from the animal shelter, actually.
There's something like, if you ever see one at something like that,
There's the fort.
That's a
And the flag that always flies. There's several flags. Of course, the original that flew the night of the Battle of Baltimore, that's not there that is on display. It's either on display at the Smithsonian or it's off display, um, being preserved, I guess you could say. Oh, it's getting pretty raw out here. It's kind of interesting because I thought that it would be a bit warmer. They were saying it would be. I think they lied. That's all right. Another month or so, I'll be I'll be walking around saying, "Oh my goodness, it's so hot. I can't move without sweating." So I'll take what I got right now. Yes, indeed. So we're approaching the main path into Fort McHenry. Now, about Fort McHenry, it's been preserved as it was during the War of 1812. It was also a major player in the Civil War as well, especially the Civil War. It had a amazing role during that time. The War of 1812, they had to defend themselves. Okay, all the cannons, which you can start to see here on top of the rises. So the War of 1812 for Fort McHenry was about defense. Okay. When the Civil War came around, it was about maintaining control. When the Civil War began, the war between the states, the U.S. literally divided. Okay. Now, Maryland, Baltimore, was kind of in the northern state locale, but it was a lot. There were a lot of Southern sympathizers here. Maryland had both slave owners and non-slave owners. So what happened was the troops moved in immediately. The Union troops sent in by President Lincoln, and they secured Baltimore. They sent federal troops and secured the city, much to the displeasure of the citizens here who rioted. Eventually, Fort McHenry became the place where they held prisoners, Southern sympathizers, Confederate soldiers, like that. So here is a couple of cannons right there. We'll get some more shortly. Here's a pretty view out into the harbor. I do love the water. I can't help it. All right. I have to show my my admittance thing here. I have this little badge that I didn't bother to put on, but I have. So.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. And there's the flag. Notice the number of stars. It's not the full 50 because during the War of 1812, we didn't have 50 stars. Now, one of the biggest things that also took place here during the night that Britain had us under shelling, under total bombardment. You can look at this placard here.
I unzipped all of my jackets. Over here,
We are standing, it says, in the most vulnerable point of Fort McHenry and the most deadly. The main entrance was the weakest part of the fort's walls. And this is the main entrance up here. I'm trying to be mindful about avoiding people. Not everybody wants to be viewed. Off in the distance, you can see the fort's second grove of cherry blossoms. They're down by the entrance to the fort, down where the visitor center and all. So we can probably walk through here. This is just one of many, many bunker type things. You can see. Let's go down. My little doggie is just fine, Sarah. She is the sweetest little thing. I could not ask for a better little dog. And this is what my signal's going to leave me here because we're underground. This is where or some of it. All right, there we go. Okay, I'm back. I guess we won't go inside again. It's always touch and go. Always, always. All right, let's take a look at what this is. We'll concentrate on the outdoor thingies, but we can still go in the fort for sure. Let's see here. Fort McHenry, it says. A Star-Spangled Centennial. Oh, okay. This the Star-Spangled Banner, 1838. Okay, so Fort McHenry, 1814 to 1914. Okay, celebrated 100 years of history. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, I might as well go in the fort. There is a school group ahead of us. I think they said like 150 some students. So if whoops, come on, camel. If we run into a bit of a crowd, that's why. Oh, there's a lot of people in there. Actually, it's not as crowded today as I thought it would be, probably because the weather isn't, the nicest. Take a peek down here. There's all kinds of tunnels and alcoves and just all kinds of things. As is the case with, I think, probably most of the forts here in Maryland. So here are some park rangers. And there's the flag all the way up there. And people are standing around in here. Oh, it must be the school group. That's why. All right. All right. So let us I can walk around here. These used to be these were like the old barracks and all. They would have been officers' quarters, enlisted men, and then just different offices and stuff. They've got several buildings here. We should go up and look at the guns.
We're gonna go and walk that way. All right, we're gonna look at some of these buildings, okay?
This is probably an officer's headquarters or something like that. Okay. Let's go find the guns. Where's the artillery?
I was already up to one.
Nothing like doing it a second time.
No, I mean, the view is.
Here's behind the buildings. They all kind of look the same way. They're obviously very sturdily, very sturdily constructed because they're still standing, obviously. And here we are right on the coast too, right? Though I have to say, Baltimore is kind of weird because, like, we're right on Baltimore Harbor. The body of water is the Patapsco River, which you catch off the Chesapeake Bay, which you get off the ocean. Well, the thing of it is that, oh, there's some cannons down there. The thing of it is that, I forgot what I was saying. These people distracted me.
Yeah, I mean, there's much more to see.
We should get,
But our kids
should get closer to the nuns. We have to go down one. Take a little bit of a stroll. Oh, I know what I was saying. So, what it ends up, Baltimore Harbor on the Patapsco, off the Chesapeake Bay, off the Atlantic Ocean, we end up being 200 miles inland. Okay. Yeah, we are 200 miles inland. Go figure. Very unique. That's what Captain Smith said. Captain John Smith, the guy that founded the first English settlement in the U.S., Jamestown. Captain Smith was an explorer. He was also Pocahontas's man. And when he was exploring up the Atlantic coast one day, he found Baltimore. He saw the Chesapeake Bay, followed it he followed the Chesapeake Bay, got the Patapsco River, and came into Baltimore Harbor. And at the time, it was a natural harbor. And it had a huge hill overlooking the harbor that was made of red clay. The hill's still there. Thank God it's not red clay anymore. It's grass, a grassy hill. It's a nice neighborhood park. As a matter of fact, I've done a few tours from there, Federal Hill. I'll probably do one pretty soon because the weather's getting nice. And Federal Hill is a really cool place in the spring, any time of year, really, I would venture to say. So, yeah, definitely. All right, so here we got some cannons. Oh, yeah, here we go. Check out the cannons. Let's see, you can help save Fort McHenry. Persons not permitted to walk on the slopes. Animals not permitted to graze on the slopes. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. There's a cow. Look at that. Look at the cannonballs. There's more down that way. Oh my gosh. Look at the size of these suckers. Whoa. We've got the whole school behind us, I think, folks.
Imagine the same roads all the way newer than the trial picture. Yeah,
It's the whole school. We'll go this way. Huh? Look at this. Look at these. Now you can see them from the other way. Oh, look at these. Look, see the tracks? Look. These guns, look, they rolled around so they could point them in any direction. Wow, check that out. Look at the size of those wheels too and those tracks. That is very cool. Very cool. You know, I've seen this 100 times. Yes, I have. I've seen it quite a bit. I love Fort McHenry. Sometimes, if you know it's a really nice day, I've been known to stop at a sandwich shop somewhere and get me a little lunch and take it down here to the park and find myself a bench or a picnic table and just enjoy the view. I mean, it doesn't get better, right? And here we are. You're looking at basically the port of Baltimore here. There's a tiny little lighthouse that's hiding behind that ship. It's not a very big one. It's maybe half the size of those concrete cylinders or whatever they are. But that was the Locust Point Lighthouse that used to mark the terminal where the immigrants came in and were processed. Oh, look at this. This one, look at the wheels on this one and the track. Oh, wow. Is this, yeah, this one's bigger than that one. Huh. Wow. Okay. Here's more. Isn't that pretty? This is such a nice park. I'm going to have to bring my Rosie here for a walk around the park one day. Yes, indeed. You got to give those teachers credit there for organizing all those kids and even managing to get a group picture. Wow. If that wasn't a tour, I'm sure. My goodness. Yes, indeed. And here you have places for guns, but the guns aren't there. Oh, those are smaller tracks. Oh, look how small. Yeah, well, okay. Compared to that big one. Yeah. Yeah, and all different size guns here, for sure. What's we got down here? Oh, more guns. Yeah. Lots and lots. And here are some guns over here too. But you know what I'm looking for that I am not seeing? Stairs. I want to get down. Maybe they're over here. Isn't that a pretty view? Oh yeah, there's stairs. Look at that. Oh, between those guns. Okay, I can do that. somebody said that the barge that's sitting out there that we're looking at, that barge was placed at the spot where Francis Scott Key watched the battle. He was on a, let's say, a neutral ship, a truce ship, if you will, where he was kind of out of the main fray, but afforded a really good view of what was going on. So much so that he could, from where he is, from that barge there, it was easy for him to see the flag. Very easy. Oh, here's more cherry blossoms. Well, I guess we'll have to go check them out. Oh, look at this. Oh, isn't that pretty? There's another little grove I didn't know about. So that gives them 3 groves. The large one that we started with, this one, and then the one out by the visitor center. So that's pretty cool. It's very cool. Okay. I should go back to those stairs, I think. Or maybe there's stairs over here. We will find out. This was a nice walk around it, though, that's for sure. Look at those little tracks. Little tiny cannons. Is there such thing as a tiny cannon? I don't think so. I don't think I've been to this side of the park before. I think we're going to run out of trail here or something, maybe. Oh, there's stairs. Okay. I got it. Oh, okay. Look at this tiny little gun. Oh, look, this one doesn't even get wheels. Look at that little baby cannon. Little baby cannon doesn't have wheels. Crazy. Huh. Little baby cannon. Isn't that pretty? Nice little grove. Okay, and see the main gate is over that way on the other side of that mound. Oh, that should be interesting. They got, yeah, the baby carriage ain't coming up these stairs. Not easily. Look at these stairs we're about to navigate here. Now, if I were about 50 years younger, I would run down these, but I'm not, so I won't. And there we go. Made it. There's another nice image of the flag, right? Yes, this is a very nice day for this. Definitely. Actually, even without the fog, with the cloudy skies, the lighting's a bit more subdued, so it makes the surroundings stand out a bit more, all the brick and such. So this is a new gimbal that I have here, and I keep double checking it. I hope it's steady. Sometimes I don't think it's moving, it's keeping up with me. I should probably slow down sometimes too, but I just get so excited. I can't wait to get to the next thing. Can you imagine all the soldiers here? They, during the Civil War, Baltimore was really a busy place. You had the military that was under strict orders to, keep any talks of secession from from the Union um, away from, public areas and such. For instance, there was a gentleman's club in one of the uppity, well-to-do, rich areas of Baltimore City where all the society elite lived, shall we say. And President Lincoln ordered their gentlemen's club shut down because he didn't want any talk of secession. And these guns, okay, there are guns like this in downtown Baltimore, close to the Federal Hill that overlooks the Inner Harbor. Federal Hill was once upon a time a fort as well, and there are some guns still left up there. And the ones they left were not the ones that pointed out towards Fort McHenry for their backup. No, it is cannons that are pointed into downtown Baltimore, towards the people, towards the city. And the way the story goes is that the colonel, who was in charge of Fort Federal Hill at the time, would sometimes have the ladies from Baltimore, with their families come up to the encampment and see what the military was doing. And, they would, put on displays and stuff for the townspeople. And when the women would ask why the guns were pointing towards the city, the colonel would tell them it was to keep their husbands in line. And so there was always that threat kind of, laying on top of the city as to, its political pull, basically. So,
Someone says good morning. Thanks for visiting. Thank you.
you. Thank you. Okay. So, go ahead and start to head out. And see what time we got. 10:57. Oh. Well, we may be able to see part of the movie in the visitor center, perhaps. It starts in a few minutes. We will see. Let's let these people pass here. All those guns. They do fire some guns, and those might be the ones that they fire. It's interesting. They kind of do it for, entertainment, for display. Like, for instance, there are cruise ships that you can get in the Inner Harbor, and the cruise ships will come out here past Fort McHenry, so you can see Fort McHenry. And I'm not talking big cruise ship, not cruise ship. I mean sightseeing ship, okay? A couple hour, cruises. Anyway, the fort will set off the guns as the ships go by, so kind of entertains the passengers. So there's the back side of the fort again. Or actually, maybe it's the front side. It's the side that you see from the parking lot. Now, up ahead is the parking lot and also the third grove of cherry blossoms up around the front parking lot. So, and we'll go out there in a bit, but first, we're going to go. Oh, and you know what? It really won't work. I was saying we can go into the visitor center, but you know what? I won't get the signal. So, all right. Instead, we'll go look at this last grove of cherry blossoms. There is the visitor center straight ahead there. It has a movie theater where it gives a really nice, like 10-minute presentation about the Battle of Baltimore, the War of 1812. And there are like some meeting rooms in there for different groups and displays and such. And restrooms, of course. And a really nice gift shop as well. So you can get your souvenirs, buy all kinds of little trinkets and such. Yeah. So there's the other grove of cherry blossoms. Up and there's at school at the other grove of cherry blossoms. Yes, indeed. Well, we'll walk over there, but we're going to take the path because the grass is kind of wet. Plus, I don't want to trample it really. Or dare I go in here and see if it works? All right. You know what? I'm going to try it. If I lose the signal, I'll just walk right through the building. And when I get out the other side, I should get it back. If I don't lose the signal, I'll go into the movie theater. Let's go. Find out. Let's be adventurous. Wrong door. Automatic door, of course. Okay. Let's go check this out. It's dark. Still got the signal. Okay.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Powerful words from our national anthem. They speak to our American identity and are woven into our national flag. Timeless words written by one man, Francis Scott Key, about one flag at one moment. September 14th, 1814, here at Fort McHenry. In 1812, the storm clouds of war had gathered over a young United States as the nation pitted itself once more against the might of the British Empire. For 2 years, the conflict wore on, from the British colonies of Canada to America's southern coast and out across the high seas. To draw off U.S. forces from Canada and damage America's economy and morale, the British Navy attacked and blockaded the nation's east coast heartland. Up and down the Chesapeake Bay they raided, destroying towns and farms and spreading fear. Then, in August 1814, disaster. The invading British seized Washington, D.C., and burned the nation's capital. A citizen soldier of Baltimore spoke for many.
Every American heart is bursting with shame and indignation at the catastrophe.
And Baltimore hearts were also full of anxiety, for they feared they would be next.
Citizens of Baltimore, they heed the British fleet approaches. Admiral Coburn has declared that he will burn this nest of pirates. If you can, flee the city. Take your valuables. Protect your families, gentlemen.
As Baltimore braced itself, a young Maryland lawyer, Francis Scott Key, embarked on a diplomatic mission to free a prisoner of war, sailing right into the heart of the approaching British fleet. But with their attack on Baltimore imminent, the British detained Key amidst their massing warships. On the outskirts of Baltimore, citizens, men and women, militia, and regular troops desperately prepared defenses. They dug almost a mile of earth entrenching and waited with bated breath. On September 12th, British soldiers landed at North Point, where a bloody battle with Maryland militia failed to halt their march towards Baltimore. However, the British could not tackle the city's earthwork defenses and troop reinforcements without their navy's help. The next day, the British bomb ships would open up their main assault with a ferocious bombardment. Their target, Fort McHenry. They had to knock out the fort to bring their ships in range of the city. The fate of Baltimore now lay in the hands of the fort's defenders. 1,000 soldiers frantically prepared for battle, knowing they were the last defense to thwart the British. With the enemy in their sights, the men awaited the inevitable, a bombardment from the world's most formidable navy. Then the attack began as the British fleet pounded the fort with rockets and mortar shells. The long day turned into rain-soaked night. But still the British bombs and rockets thundered over the fort, exploding deadly shrapnel in all directions. The fort's defenders were, in the words of one citizen soldier, like pigeons tied by their legs to be shot at. The American artillery answered the British with desperate return fire. But would it be enough? Baltimore's citizens watched in panic through the night. One recalled,
The attack on Fort McHenry was distinctly seen from Federal Hill and from the tops of houses which were covered with men, women, and children.
Early next morning, September 14th, the British guns finally fell silent. A huge flag was raised above the fort, but whose? Through the long night, Francis Scott Key had been forced to watch the bombardment from among the enemy fleet.
Nothing.
Now, he strained to see the flag in the dawn's early light.
It's ours, Mr. Skinner. You say you won. It's ours.
Inspired by their courage, he wrote down a few lines. "'Tis the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, long may it wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave." As the British withdrew, he returned to Baltimore, where his words soon found music and a publisher, and the Star-Spangled Banner was born. It captured a defiant, patriotic spirit and spread rapidly across the nation, pouring new life into the national flag as a symbol of American identity. The popularity of the song and the flag grew during the years that followed. The Star-Spangled Banner eventually became the official anthem of the United States in 1931. Inspired by the brave defense of Fort McHenry, Francis Scott Key's words and the flag they so memorably portray are now woven into our sense of national identity. These words still resonate as loudly today as the glaring rockets and bursting bombs of 1814.
Morning, everybody. This is a good song. Thanks for coming out to Fort McHenry. They say it's going to 80 degrees.
Okay. I left after the presentation there. There's a park ranger that gives a little spiel and answers any questions and such. So that was a pretty good video, right? Here's the gift shop. Take a little spin through it. Why not, right? Sarah, I hold nothing British against anybody. Some of my favorite cousins live in London, as a matter of fact. However, you guys don't hold anything that's going on now against me. I didn't do it. Okay? If you catch my drift. Hey, look at this. Oh, look, little Legos. Little expensive Legos. Oh, look, a Lego Fort McHenry. That is cute. Hey, Ronnie Lynn, how are you? They got all kinds of the usual mugs and jugs and shot glasses and key rings, t-shirts. They got a nice collection of books for kids on American history and Fort McHenry. I have one of these on my phone. Guess where I got it? It's right here. Oh, there's all kinds of Fort McHenry stuff. Magnets. I have a refrigerator that's covered with magnets. Oh, nice sweatshirt.
Are we ready to share? Oh, no, today. I have 3.
Oh, flags. Those are nice. Now I know where to get a new phone. Oh, there's the film. Oh, you can get the film. Look at that. Oh, I did not know that. I know the film kind of well, and I know Fort McHenry. Oh, that's a nice painting up there. I like Fort McHenry. I kind of know it well too. Besides my little virtual tours here, if you ever come to Baltimore, I do driving tours for a company called I Love Baltimore. And I have a driver and a nice climate controlled, comfy passenger van. And we drive around the city and I do my thing. And one of the places that we stop is right here. This is where we stop midway through our 2-hour tour. Bathroom break. Thank you, you too. Okie dokie. Thank you. Okay, so this is now we're out front of the visitor center, and I'll let you see the front of the building here. Well, it's pretty crowded today. I'm glad I did this kind of early. The weather's supposed to improve this afternoon, and I imagine it'll get a lot more crowded then. Fort McHenry National Monument. Voila. And there's the other little grove there of cherry trees, cherry blossom trees. All right, let's see here. I'm going to turn this camera around. Back to the front. Hello, here I am. No worse for the wear, I suppose. So now I am going to. I'm so glad, Sarah. You have no idea. Really. Okay. Let's see. I am parked over that away. Dead ahead. So, what am I going to do for the rest of my day? I don't know. It's Easter weekend. Today's Good Friday. What are you all doing? Anything interesting? I don't know. I'll probably have a nice dinner on Sunday rather. A nice little Easter dinner. I wanted to go to one of the nice restaurants. A lot of them here have like a special Easter brunch. However, I waited too long and all the brunches are sold out. There's no more seats available. Oh my goodness. Oh well. So, okay. I am back at my car. And I suppose what I'm going to do is go take my little self home and go get my little dog and find something else to do today. Just so you all know, I haven't been doing too many tours and stuff. The weather got funky and started having some. My daughter started having some health issues, and so. Wasn't very focused, but the weather's getting better now. And there's some cool activities and things coming up at springtime. Yay. So there's a couple of spring fests coming up, and there's a chicken wing festival. Yeah, that should be interesting. So anyway, stay tuned. Check me out, Facebook and YouTube and together virtually also. My tours are listed. So, and if you like my tours, please support me. I love doing these. So, I mean, I would come out here running around anyway, but with gas and stuff, yeah, buy me a coffee. The link is on my pages. Okay, I love coffee and I need gas. Okay, well, folks, take care, and I swear I will see you soon. Thank you, Ronnie, for my daughter. She had her appendix ruptured. It was pretty scary. She's still not out of the woods yet, but she's doing a whole lot better. So, yeah, weird things happen sometimes, right? All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And have a happy Easter and all of that. And I hope I see you soon. Bye.